What's up, vinyl community? Cliff, the vinyl cheapskate here. Cheers. Friday drinking music. Simple, straightforward vinyl finds this week. This is all the stuff I've picked up since my last vinyl finds. I think it's all the stuff I've picked up since my last vinyl finds. It's a nice little stack, a bunch of different types of stuff going on here. So it's a good stack. A lot of like 80s metal stuff. So I'm gonna start with all the 80s metal stuff, and then I'm not really gonna put this in any particular order. Sometimes I try to do it with where I found it, but I'll just tell you where I found it when I get to it. And you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Hold on, I'm moving some stuff around real quick. I should have organized this before I started, but I didn't. I did not. So, 80s metal stuff. This is one that I got off of an eBay pickup. I found a distributor called Millions of Records, and they had all these for dirt cheap. This is the only punk record in this whole stack, I believe, is what we're listening to right now, which is War Wound, the Demos LP. War Wound, the Demos, 83. Obvious influences here. Sounds like a mix between like Discharge and Doom. Definitely influenced by that. Great stuff. Repetitive. Excellent deep beat stuff. I like it. They were cheap. These were all cheap. Picked up a couple thrashers here. Picked up this Harder Attack LP. I've been eyeing this up for a little while. It's members of. Why do I want to say Municipal Waste? It's not Municipal Waste. It's Nuclear Assault. Members of Nuclear Assault doing a more kind of hardcore, little punkier side of thrash, kind of like a mix between like Nuclear Assault mixed with like some of the more like toned down versions of DRI type stuff. Very good. This is a really good record. I think it's kind of slept on. This is the Back on Black version, and it's always cheap. It's cheap all over. So this is a good one if you want to like just bulk up your thrash and still have a good record in there. This is a fun one. Came on some sick red vinyl. But I don't know, maybe the sound quality is not great on here or anything, but like, I don't know. I'm from the punk world. It's noisy, it's thrashy, a lot of distortion and stuff. So like, the production is kind of before you even start. It's not bad. I just think I don't understand why this is so cheap, and it's kind of everywhere. Like I keep finding it, and everywhere I see it, it's like $10 or under. So check this out. If you could find this for like 10, 15 bucks, well worth the price of entry. Also picked up this UK thrasher, Acid Rain. Another one where it's more on the side of like, I think because maybe it's definitely crossover. Definitely got some thrash elements in there, some hardcore elements. Very good stuff. It's like a middle ground between thrash and hardcore, which, you know, crossover, what it is. On some cool yellow vinyl here. Matches the layout really well. UK Apple Core. Sick stuff. Should definitely check this band out if you haven't checked them out before. They're pretty well known, I think. They're different record. I haven't listened to this one yet, but Moschenstein, great record. I think these guys don't. They're a little on the goofier side sometimes, but still really, really good. This artwork is kind of atrocious, but I kind of love it at the same time. Last one, like I said, these were all from one seller on eBay. Buy it now prices. I asked them to combine shipping and they did, so pretty stoked. Elixir, Son of Odin. This is pretty good. Good. Also, I'm back on black. These are all back on black, I believe. Yeah, I think all four of these were back on black. But Elixir plays kind of like early power metal type stuff, but a little bit more on the Iron Maiden influence side. It's like a poor man's Maiden kind of, but still pretty good. This came out in '85, I believe, originally. Yeah, I think this originally came out in '85. It's a fun listen. It's nothing like knock your socks off great, but it's still a good listen if you like that. And this is also cheap everywhere right now for some reason. I think they just press a shit ton of them and can't sell them off. But and this red is a weird choice for the color scheme that they have going on here, but I don't really care about that. But yeah, kind of like Iron Maiden-y power metal stuff, with the vocals are not as good as any of the Iron Maiden stuff, but still, it's fun to listen to. It's an enjoyable listen. I've listened to this one once so far. It'll stick around for a bit. Now some of the heavier hitters here. I got some goodness in. Start with this one. I'll start with this one because I picked this one up in person. I went to an Apple festival with my wife and a couple of friends, and there's a record table there. So I went and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. Flip it through. Spotted this bad boy. An original Lizzie Borden. Menace to Society. Sick US. Just US heavy metal, a little bit of speed metal in there, kind of proto thrash before thrash, but it's heavier than just straightforward heavy metal. It's got better riffs. Really, really good shit here. Lizzie Borden, I feel like it's overlooked a bunch. The one I really want is the first one, the one with the lady on the cover. My brain does not hold information like it used to. But I forget what the hell it's called. But it's the one with the lady on the front. She's like in bed with a phone. That one is the one I really, really want. But this one is second best right here. And it was just chilling in the bins, and I couldn't say no. Price wasn't terrible, but it wasn't cheap either. Original Metal Blade copy. Has the inner and this. These are awesome. I love when records still have these in there. The merch sheet. It's got the original inner going on here. It's in very good shape. But yeah, this was a sick find. There's a couple other things I'll just mention that I found at the Apple Festival. But there's a couple more things in here, but they're not metal stuff, so I'm just showing all the metal stuff right now. Another sick eBay find. Show the eBay find here. I got one more sick eBay find. Picked up this Angus Tracks of Doom. This is just really good, pretty straightforward heavy metal stuff. It's a little... It's got a good mid-pace to it the whole time. Some slower bits where they almost touch upon doom metal. This is a very interesting, fun album. Great cover. Really sick band. I believe they're from... I don't know. I think they're American. But Angus Tracks of Doom on Medusa, Megaton. Also Megaton is like a split between Medusa and Megaton Records. But very sick American heavy metal stuff. This is from 88, I believe. Maybe 87. I just looked at it. 86. From 86. So, when metal was starting to get a little heavier, not quite... This is not thrash or death metal, but it's definitely touching on some doom metal. Some doom metal feels in this one. It's not exactly doom metal, but it's touching on it. But yeah, very good stuff. And two more I got from Discogs. So, picked up this, and I haven't listened to either of these, but I know I have listened to this band in the past. Pretty Maids. Red Hot and Heavy here. Just really good, straightforward heavy metal again. This is I think their first from 1984. They got a little glammier after this. This is more along the lines of like a rockin' heavy metal, kind of like touches on bits of, I would say, bits of Motorhead, but not really. Excellent stuff. And these are both Japanese pressings. Got Epic International. I don't know what pressing this is, if it's the first pressing or second pressing or any of that shit, but whatever. Came with the inner sleeve. I love buying Japanese records. And this is a Japanese company that I bought this from. It's all in Japanese, which is sick. This is a Japanese company that I bought it from. And they're like a Japanese distributor or something, I think. But all undergraded. These records were cheap for what they were. And they were graded as, I think this sleeve here, graded as very good. Only because of this. It's got like a nice, this is like a sticker residue. But perfect condition. This was graded very good, plus on the vinyl, which the vinyl's immaculate. And very good on the sleeve, just because of this little like thing here, which if I hold it back, you can't even tell. If I didn't point it out, you wouldn't even have noticed it. But look at these dudes. But yeah, sick stuff. Also got a Japanese, I think this is a Japanese pressing. Also got this. This is a US pressing. But Diamond Head, Borrowing Time. Or Living on Borrowed Time, yeah. Living on Borrowed Time, yeah. On MCA Records. Been meaning to pick a copy of this up. This record, very good plus on the sleeve, which it is. It's the high end of very good plus. There's a little bit of like stuff down here where it's like you can see the glue kind of giving way, but perfect. And the record labeled as very good. This is definitely at least a very good plus. There's a couple scratches that are a little rough on here, and that's it. Like, great record. And like I said, this record's coming up in value, and and I got it for an 80s pressing of it for very cheap for what it is, for very reasonable. I'm not gonna say cheap, they weren't really cheap, but reasonable. But yeah, total classic. Finally put it in the collection. Been meaning to pick this up for years now, and it's finally in the collection. Super cool. But yeah, that's the metal. The rest of the stuff, I've got a couple rock and prog rocky stuff to show you. I got some prog rocky stuff to show you, and then like 4 jazz records, and then I'm done. I picked this up basically because my son really likes it. Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Didn't have a copy of this. This is a super clean copy. It's $7, I think. Quinn has a friend who's like super into like some prog rock right now, and this is one of their favorite albums, and I hear him and his buddy talk about it all the time. So when I saw it for a reasonable price, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up, even if it's just something to play. I like this album a lot. It's a great album. It's never been in the top of my list of things to get until, as you learn when you have kids, your kids' interests kind of turn into your interests a little bit. And when my kid said they really like this album, and I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'll pick that up. Why not? I picked up this bad boy. This was also from the Japanese seller. This is also a Japanese pressing, and also in like perfect condition. Colosseum, the Valentine Suite. Really good proggy psych stuff from the 60s. There's some hard and heavy on here too. This is an excellent record. This has been on my hit list for a long time. I owned Grass is Greener for a really long time, and I always was like, they have the same cover, so I thought I already had this record for a while. And then I realized, oh shit, they're 2 separate records, and this is the better of the 2. So, meaning to pick this up for a while. This is in immaculate condition. I'm almost convinced this might be a repress of some sort, but it's in such good condition. Japanese pressing, all this Japanese came with an inner. And if this is an original, this is so well kept. Bronze records. This is excellent. Very excited to get this in the collection finally. This is probably one of my top finds of the year right here so far, because I've been meaning to pick this up for a long time. It's not a super expensive record usually, even like brand new. I don't think it's a super expensive record or anything. It's just one that I've wanted for a long time. Alright, so this is the last one I found at the Apple Festival. I found Tarkus at the Apple Festival as well. Last one I found at the Apple Festival, and this was pretty cheap too. Promotional copy. Amon Duel 2. Hijack. Excellent record. Really anything Amon Duel 2 does I like pretty much. This is 1974. So later era, not the 60s or anything. They're getting a little more, I don't want to say commercial, but less weird. I'm just going to say less weird. They're getting a little less weird, but still a really fun record. Yeah, Amon Duel 2. Record stopped. Yeah, let's flip it. All right. So, last, man, this is rough. This is a rough recording. I can hang with this, but yeah, it's a little rough. This one's good. I'm talking about the record that's playing is a little rough. This is a great record. Uh, the Aerosol Machine, Aerosol Gray Machine, Vandergraaf Generator. More weirdo proggy stuff. Another one that's been on my hit list for a little bit. This is before they got super proggy. This is still they're still kind of got some psych elements going on through here. They're still in the '60s, so very very good stuff. This is also one that's been on my list for a while. This is a repress of some sort. It's too thick to be an old record, in my opinion. But yeah, this is definitely a repress of some sort. It was sealed when I bought it. Uh, Mercury Records, not sure. Maybe a boot of some sort too. I'm not sure. I have no idea. It sounds good. I listened to it once and it sounds really good. But yeah, big records day. Like, got a bunch of big records. And the final thing, I'm gonna go through these quick, because these were cheapies that they were on eBay for like $3 a piece. So these are ones that I literally just went through. Nobody had bid on them. I bid $3 each. Won them all for $3 each. There are a bunch of ones that I bid on that I didn't win. These are the ones I won. That's a little strategy I do to like check things out sometimes. But Status Quo rocking all over the world. Don't know if this is a good one or not. It was Status Quo. I like pretty much everything I've heard by Status Quo. This is from, I believe, the '80s. Came with the original inner here. Let's see if it tells me what year this is from anywhere. Wow, that's a rough recording. That's why this one's cheap. 77. So, a little later, but it's got this. It's on Vertigo with the sick Vertigo spaceship labels. So, yeah, pretty stoked to have this. Add this to my Vertigo collection. I've been kind of slowly working on as I find them, when I find them cheap and good condition. Yeah, Status Quo, rocking around the world. Also grabbed this Les McCann Invitation to Openness. This one's the sleeve's in real rough condition. It's kind of peeling and it's got some water damage. But the record itself is in pretty good shape. There's a few hairline scratches on there, nothing too crazy. But like I said, I bid $3 each on these. This is Les McCann when he got a little. This is like the late '70s, I think, and he got a little more funky and a little bit more weird and out there. No, it's '72. Yeah, it's '72. You got a little funky, a little weird and out there, and yeah, it's good. I like this record. The Lovers side 1, I think, gets a little out there, but yeah, fun listen. I've listened to this a couple times on streaming and stuff, but I've been looking for a copy of this for a while. This will be one that I upgrade eventually, I think, but for now, this will do. For how cheap it was. And a couple of the more out there Keith Jarrett albums. This one is Treasure Island on ABC. It was on Impulse, but this is a repress on ABC Impulse after, I guess, ABC bought Impulse. But this is a good. Did I just find something? I think I just found some weed in I think I found some marijuana in this bad boy. But this one gets a little out there. It gets a little free jazzy. It reels itself back in and still keeps a melody through the whole thing. It doesn't get too crazy. But it's fun and a little experimental. little bit of fusiony-ness, a little fusion going in here too. But yeah, this is a fun one. I don't know any of the players on here, do I? Dewey Redman, Sam Brown, Charlie Hayden. I know Charlie Hayden. But yeah, this is a cool one. It's always cheap too. It's another cheap one. I think I saw someone big up and are talking about this on the vinyl community at some point. And I don't remember who. Last but not least is this Expectations Keith Jarrett. I'm not sure if this is. I think this may be like a collection or a comp of some sort. But yeah, Sam Brown, Charlie Hayden, Dewey Redman. Oh, Arto Moraria. I don't know how to say his name. Moraria. But Arto's on here too, so sick stuff. This is a fun one. I listened to this once too. And it gets a little out there. Some of them are more out there than others. So that's why I think I can kind of tell that it's. I think maybe it is just an album. I'm not sure, but same year as the last one, 19. Or this was 74, I think. This is 72. This is a couple years earlier. So still very good. Keith Jarrett has some cool stuff that came out in the 70s, and he got a little far out. So I like the stuff where he gets a little far out. So that's it. Finished with the vinyl finds. That's what I've picked up over the last month or so. 2 months, maybe month and a half. Yeah, over the last like month and a half. That's pretty much everything I picked up over the last month and a half. I've been super busy, so I haven't gone to any shops. I've just been ordering stuff on eBay and Discogs and online, basically. So, except that that find at the apple farm. But anyway, cheers everybody. Sorry for the long video. There's a lot of stuff in that pile. Hope you enjoyed it. And everybody have a good weekend. Cheers.